First screen recording of my final major project from my first month of my timeline. This month I'm going to be making 2 screen recordings of my progress throughout the next couple of weeks. These screen recordings are going to be me documenting my beat making with me using various techniques from the research I've done. First off, I'm going to start with a reference track of where I really got my inspiration from this track. Let's restart that. The track sort of has quite a dark vibe. I just wanted to create something that was quite dark and just mysterious. It's quite hard hitting as well, with really hard drums. So yeah, that was my really inspiration for this track. So I wanted to create something that wasn't too complex. It was quite simple, but just had the same sort of vibe. It's quite a slow BPM, and I wanted to recreate something that was similar to that. So I did this track at 108 BPM. The instruments used in the reference track, there was sort of quite like reverby instruments that had sort of quite a bit of delay on them. So I wanted to recreate something that was like with the use of same sort of instruments. The first instrument I started with was this guitar sound. This was from the plugin called Nexus. It's very simple. Just wanted to start off with something simple, not too complex. I didn't put many effects on this, but I did on the actual VST plugin. I messed around with a couple of the filters on there, and the attack and the decay. That was the first instrument, and I sort of wanted to just build off that. Then I added some quite low horns to just sort of create a dark vibe. That was just, and with the dark horns, I just put a guitar amp on that to sort of just spice them up a little bit, and a second amp as well. At this point, I sort of feel as if I could just sort of add a couple more instruments, and I would just sort of lay the drums down. When the next instrument I added was a little piano. This piano, I didn't really do much to it. It was as on Nexus, that's a lot of the sounds are really like sort of already there for you to use. So with this piano, I didn't really do much to it. Then after that I added a pluck sound. With this sound I just added a compressor. Sort of take away any bits that were sort of that shouldn't be there within the sound. After that I just added a simple 808, and with this 808 I just added some overdrive to sort of really just give it that grittiness of how the 808 and the bass was in the actual on that reference track. Here's the 808 with all the other instruments as well. Then I just added a simple clap, sort of get the vibe going, and on this clap I just added a simple space designer that was already a preset on there, and I messed around with the wet level just to sort of make sure that everything was alright with that. And then I added a channel EQ as well, take out the low end, so there was no low end frequencies that were clashing. Here's that. Then I added a snare to back that up, just to sort of give it that crispness and sort of build the sound, so the beat didn't feel empty at all. Here's that. With this snare I just added slight EQ on the high end, so I get that crispiness, and then I added some percussion as well. percussion, I didn't really do much. I didn't feel it needed any effects or EQs on that. Then I just added a simple crash. Which sort of emphasizes every time the kick drum hits. So sort of, because in trap music, a lot of the time, you want to build up drops and you want to make sure the drums are hitting really hard with the kick and the bass. So the crash just layers that sound. Then after that, I added some hi-hats, some really basic hi-hats. Didn't do much effects to them either. I sort of wanted, with the hi-hats, I wanted to create quite a skippy flow. So I used quite a lot of 32 notes and triplet notes as well to sort of create not a very fast tempo track to sort of create a jump, like a skippiness to it. Then I added a kick drum in which I bust that all the way to make it hit really hard. Then I also EQ'd it as well, took out a bit of the low end and just increased the low end as well to make it just hit a little bit harder. And that's Then for a little breakdown I had, that I just added a simple, one sec, let me just sort of that. Yeah, I just for the breakdown, I just added a simple filter, as I sort of felt it just needed to be, the sounds needed to be taken out and just create a little bit of ambience. With the pluck sound, I took out all the high end, boosted a little bit of the mids to create that sort of mysterious filter sound. Then with the horns as well, I did the same, but I increased a little bit of the low end as well. That created that, which gave it a real sort of ambience to it and mysterious sound, in which it drops again after this stage. For this drop as well, I also created some little. I also chopped out some of the kick drums and the other instruments to sort of create a nice drop. Sort of chopped each sound. Then I put a little slowdown on each of the instruments as well, so it sort of just brought everything back in, and then it dropped really heavy. That's that. And then that's it for that really. The structure of this beat, I wanted to really create structure for as an artist was going over it, so it wasn't too complex. It was just pretty simple structuring. And yeah, this is my first, and this will be my first track off of the final major project. And yeah, that's it.